Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of your Salesforce Journey podcast. So today we have with us Phaneendra. He's a Salesforce MVP, two times marketing champion. He's a Salesforce Velocity and AWS Enterprise Architect, close to 40 certifications, and he is also the founder and CTO at Valuehub. So let's start our conversation with him and understand how he started his journey and how is it going. Hey, Phaneendra, welcome to Salesforce Journey podcast, and thanks for taking your time and joining us today.
Thanks, Sanjeet. Thanks for welcoming your podcast and to really share my thoughts and everything that any questions I'm happy to help you out.
Thanks. To start with, I know it has been like you started as probably a developer and you were a CTO previously. And firstly, congratulations for your new venture, Valuehub, right? And so you are a CTO and a founder now, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm
it
a
must be
CTO and a founder. Yeah.
yeah, so it must be difficult to juggle with. But let's start with the beginning, right? So what was your story? How did you was Salesforce accidental to you, or it was more of a planned thing, which I am not sure it is. Right? So how did it go? How was the journey like?
No, I mean, so when I was graduated from my Bachelor of Technology, 2011, I've been got a campus. I've been placed in a campus placement, and see there are a lot of bunch of people where so I've been selected, and then so they've moved giving you to different kind of roles. Which role that you would love to play around it? Like you want to become a mainframe developer or a Java developer, or I think 2011 is the one that I've been graduated. So it's just like that time Salesforce is something which is going. You hopefully you see the classic screens of Salesforce, right?
Yeah.
Really like those red color, the screens and everything. Yeah. So that time, so I've been started my journey with Salesforce, but initial first 2.5 years, which is small, it's more like a training kind of a thing, small admin stuff and all this stuff. But I never got a chance to work on very big changes, the big
Mhm.
things. Uh, After 2.5 years, I've been working, and I've been telling myself, saying that okay, that's enough. Let's move into a different role altogether, and let's see how you're doing it. Because frankly, for the first 2.5 years, I was zero. If you ask me, I really don't know anything about Salesforce much. I'm just time passing and everything. So just nothing. After 2.5 years, I've been working in one of the. If you ask me, it's one of the game changer company for myself. Especially it's Gurgaon, and especially it's a night shift. And you see, if you ask me till date, the company has like more than 3,000 mobile app developers.
Oh.
Yeah, 3,000 mobile app developers, which you can't see. You ask any person, like they are like a proper, pure play, uh, fantastic developers. I mean,
Mhm.
frankly, when I went to that environment, I initially bit, uh, you know, uh,
Scared.
oh my God, yeah, it's kind of scared where, okay, whether it's sustain or not here, whether I can do it or not. So they have pure mobile app company, but now they've started the venture in Salesforce, and I'm the first employee in Salesforce.
Mhm.
They hired me as the first employee, and then that changes. Now you see the pressure.
Yeah.
We got a project, and then no one is there to help you out. And that time, there is no such heavy ecosystem we have like currently, right? So we don't have that vibrant community who help us. Like if you pose a question now, it's 10 answers you will get from different experts. So
Which
now
year is this?
20
2014?
2013, yeah, 2013,
Mhm.
2013 December.
Mhm.
So, so when now I started actually now I started learning everything from scratch again. It's building
Mhm.
scratch. I know admin stuff and everything, and I know small little code. From there, I started building my own career, building my own career stuff and everything. I've been
Mhm.
learning, been working in that company almost like 14 months, 14 to 15 months, 15 months.
Mhm.
I've been working more than 14 hours or 15 hours a day. I've been going to office at evening 6 o'clock, and then I leave office when next day noon 2 o'clock.
Mhm.
So being one developer it started with, I've learned all the tools, Salesforce. If you ask me in development that time, so I was like within a year I've learned complete development, Apex, and all these things, and then on top, I built six mobile App Exchange packages in the span of 6 months. The
Oh,
first
great.
time took me 4 months for the security review. So that time it's check marks and all this stuff. It's a different concept.
Hmm.
So, and after 4 months, I've deployed every app. Like every month is an app. Every month is an app. Every month is an app. So I've been built on complete CTI plugins and everything. I've been working on Ruby on Rails. I've been working on
Hmm.
mobile apps. I've learned Objective C. I've learned Android development, iOS development from scratch. So if you ask me, like it's one of the full-fledged. If I come out of this company after 15 months, I myself see in a mirror saying that okay, you've achieved with that experience like 4 years. I've achieved like really good amount of experience and everything. So that is a key change of my entire life, especially. And I've written some certifications over the time, a few 1, 2 certifications. Yeah. Then I think that time it started, and after that I moved to one of the company called Abbott India.
Yeah, but
So
I know they were our clients in my previous organization. So
right, so that time I working as a, so I got a role of technical consultant, like global technical consultant who lead few countries. So I'm the one who designing the entire mobile app of Abbott India for sales and
hmm.
leading some of the key functions, and I've been working in there for 2.5 years. 2.5 years, yeah, near to 2.5 years, and after that I moved to Singapore. So I've been promoted here as an architect, technical architect, working on enterprise systems. Now, from when you move from India to here, now you see enterprise level actually.
Yeah,
You are sitting in a client location. The client, you're working with the client as you are a client. Now we've learned AWS. I've learned APG. I've learned TIPCO. I've learned multiple data warehouse tools. I've been architecting many of the biggest applications. I've seen the complete transformations of each and every application, how
hmm.
it reaches to your customers, the pain
Right.
points, customer experience, the personalization. When it comes to the personalization matters, I've been creating our own projects with the instance. So from there, I've been working on a year, and after that, I've been moved to AbbVie, a sister companies of Abbott, and I've been working as a chief architect for almost like a year. And I've been working on Health Cloud and other fancy clouds out there, and been traveling to few countries. And after that, I moved to Apistoke, and working as a CTO for
Hmm.
last 5 years, and then I completing that duty. And after that, so it's time for me to start my own stuff, and then I want to give a try. I'm not saying that okay, it's something that people are doing it, but I want to give a strong hard try for the next 2 or 3 years, and then let's see how it goes. So that's my journey.
So what was the motivation? It was to since you're already a CTO in one of the established organizations. So any specific motivation, or it was just that I just want to try it out and I feel
Uh, yeah, I mean, so it's something which comes out of my interest altogether, because when I came from a background of farmer family, so I do have some thought process that I want to build something from scratch. So I have a lot of, it comes with a lot of grades, university grades and everything, like I'm
hmm,
a university gold medalist, and come up with a lot of grades and everything as such, and then I want to put my best effort. And see, I'm putting my lot best effort for Epistoki for a lot, a quite number of years, and then I wanted to see myself in a different role altogether, and let's see how it goes with, if you put a similar
hmm,
efforts for your own company, and then see how it
yeah,
goes. And and then of course trying myself, so one thing I learned with all my experiences is, for the last couple of days, business is different. Business is
totally
different.
different.
Business is different because I'm quite new to this business. Business is different, and the personal is different. So if your friend is your best friend, but in business he's not your best friend. You have to think like a best friend, like a business.
Sure.
I'm just learning those kind of an aspect. But yeah, there's a lot of hurdles and battleships before I start this. But eventually, it's not an easy journey for me. So frankly, it's a very tough journey that I've been started
No,
with. Yeah.
yeah, I think entrepreneurship is not that smooth ride. It is kind of with a lot of ups and downs. So I remember when I started, initial 6 months were like crazy, and it was really good, right? Everything was going smooth, and then we had some team internal changes and stuff like that, and it was really tough to handle. But I think as you go with the flow, you kind of learn different aspects. Then I realized that internal systems should be really solid, right? You should not have chances of leak, so we are kind of building those strong systems and then creating the sales funnels, pipelines, and how to talk to a client. It is really different while you're consulting, and it is really different while pre-sales call, right? Yeah.
No, it's I mean, trust me, Sanjit. Like It's not an easy job. Easy. It's with this current industry, the current people, current scenarios, what you're looking at, right? My God. So there are a lot of things. There are. I've seen people with the two, three faces.
No, that happened. And I think for me personally, what was challenging is that I have come from a technology background. So as a technology person, like we are very straightforward that this can be done, this cannot be done. And sometimes I don't want to use the word, but I will still, you have to play a bit diplomatically on specifically the pre-sales calls and need not be truly technical there. So that is kind of challenging at times. And business is really different from when you're working as a Salesforce architect or like you need to flip the roles there.
That's absolutely true. So yeah, I mean, I'm just learning it actually. So whatever happened, it's all happened with a good sense. But I'm just learning it actually. I'm just keep learning it and then keep growing myself. Yeah. So you can say that I don't know how it goes, but I think I'll do my best to things, giving back to the community as much as I can.
No, things shape well as you grow, right? So with a lot of experience, it definitely adds a lot of value to the organization.
Experience is one thing where if you believe me or not, like experience doesn't matter. If you ask me,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. I pretty feel that you're as sound as technical, you're as sound as you're great, but business mindset is something different.
So I
You
think you
never
need
know.
to learn the business aspect, but since you already have experience dealing with the customers and all those things, so that adds kind of a different value there. At least you have some idea about how to go about it
Yeah,
rather
yeah,
than somebody.
yeah.
Since you are also a CTO and in the technology boot, right? So, Salesforce or any other technology, the technology landscape is pretty much changing every month, I would call it now, right? Earlier, there was a boom, NFT, Web3 was kind of all over the news, and every blogger was posting about Web3 and all that. And the switch happened to AI, generative AI. And even if you go to the login.salesforce.com on the right panel, they have that AI day and everything is AI. A lot of customers have reached out to us, specifically emailed us that, hey, what is the Salesforce AI, how to use it, and all that. So what do you think? Is this still a buzz, or how do you adapt to the new changes? Since you started with maybe VF pages, then Aura, then LWCs, then now I think you're focused towards marketing cloud. You also learned AWS. So how do you keep on learning and upgrading yourself and cope up with all this?
If you ask me personally, where so I'm a kind of a person to look at the way innovations. Always look at the innovations. I myself want to build some innovations to make it very clear, because if you build your own innovation to be a footprint for other people, especially on this ecosystem. So you're absolutely true in terms of upgradation for the technology standpoint. You should be upgrade all the self. If something quite comes today or tomorrow, or it has a the pilot beta kind of a thing, so you have to have some glance on it, what's happening and what needs to be available. You have to
Mm-hmm.
take a look about, okay, if this is something comes around it, like how we could suggest this tool to the customers, how that could be really beneficial for your customers to make it more ROI kind of a relating stuff. The one thing which I see always, like so how I could give the best customer experience for all the customers, which gives a lot of impact on the business plus technology, right? So as you said, generative AI, yes, it is something that's going to change our entire lives in the near coming soon for sure. And I think I would
Mm-hmm.
request everyone to have some learning curve on the generative AI,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to understand how the generative AI can make our lives more simpler. Because I'm not saying that it's going to completely do 100% that what we're doing it, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's an added advantage for everyone to take some of our time. Like if you're writing, if you're creating a presentation for 8 hours, maybe using that I could drastically make it at least 2 hours of my time, right? 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But still, human play a big role. If any AI comes or anything, but human has to play a big role because we have to train the models. We have to train our models. We have to build a model. We have to deploy the models to one of the application, either AWS or Azure or any other clouds. And there are people needs to support on the DevOps side. There are people needs to build on this model, generation and all this stuff. There are people still need some testing as well, right? So no one will go anywhere. From my perspective, no one will go anywhere. It's a matter of time that decreasing the effort of what you're
Decreasing
doing.
the effort.
Yeah, maybe you're doing 8 hours now. Maybe generative AI, can be reduced to 60% or sorry 40% of your time or 30% of your time. That's what my view is actually. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that is true. It won't go away, but it will definitely. So suppose for today for testing, if say 10 people are required, maybe with AI and other stuff, you might need only four guys, right? So those six
Exactly.
needs to upskill themselves, or either all 10 need to upskill, right, and understand. And it won't be like generative AI is doing everything. You need to learn how to use that tool also, right? So if you kind of keep on
Have to
upgrading.
train, because the generative AI comes with a different stack of product likeness. So because they'll just give you, the simple APIs, but you have to train your own model with your own declarative components. You
Right.
have to train your model with your own language. There are
Yeah.
PHP, Node, Python, and all those technologies, right? You
Mhm.
still require resources to be able to, design that model, train the model, and you need a data engineers to dump the data, do a lot of permutation, combination testings, and all this stuff. Yeah, I think it's not that uh, straightforward where you give an API and I'll build it. It's not that.
Yeah, but I think if you're in that loop, right, of learning, and eventually compounding makes a lot of difference. So for me personally, I started with another big MNCs. I won't take the name, but there I was not able to learn much. So initial 1.5 year of my career was kind of very slow, like yourself, right? And then I switched to a startup, and things changed from there. I got to lead the projects and stuff like that. So within couple of years, I was leading two of their major projects. So I think the learning aspect is key, and the environment you kind of have around you is also something that matters, because in my first organization, the environment was such that nobody was keen to learn, and there were no learning activities. So once you have that kind of environment, or you need to create that kind of environment around you so that you're always progressing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I see today a lot of people working on VF pages are not working on auras, right? And people working on aura are hesitant with LWCs, and this will keep on changing. So you'll have to kind of adopt to yourself.
We have to adapt ourselves in order to make in the game. Otherwise, you're out of the game.
Yeah. No, recently, actually, when I started with entrepreneurship, I also I have this routine of 2 hours a day, learning 2 hours a day, at least 5 days a week. That is something I used to follow. And then when you got into entrepreneurship, you have a lot of other stuff coming in. So that kind of took a side. And I realized after 6 months that the knowledge I have is kind of decreasing. So I got into groove again. I recently started learning marketing cloud, looking into velocity, what things can be done. But I think learning is a key aspect, in especially the IT industry, to be specific.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that's
By the
true.
way, what is your routine like? Do you have certain time of the day wherein you just spend maybe like you early morning 2 hours you spend on reading something, or no?
Uh,
It's just
okay, so I'm not a book reader. First of all,
no,
I
neither am I.
yeah.
Only YouTube and other stuff.
Yeah, so predominantly what I do, I'm not a morning person, by the way. I'm always a night person, so I've spent more time in night. Um, that's where my brain functioning more at night. So ideally, I spend more time in night, and then I study. At least I'll learn something what's happening in the current industry. I'll keep upgrading myself. Um, I'll see, I'm gonna put some targets where if we'll have to get some, new industries, new specialization. Let's take an example. I'm gonna start with public sector solutions, right?
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with all the concept of public sector solutions and how's the market, and after that, I'm gonna prepare that kind of curriculum, and after that, I'm gonna go with the health training documents. I'm gonna try spin
Hmm.
up dogs and then try myself. Mm, Build some, they have data model, but I'm gonna build some more fashionable things, and from there I'll do own my troubleshooting things, whether okay why this, why not that, and all those things, and I'm going to write the notes. Okay, this is going to be happen something. And when you have this kind of hard work, so for the next 1 2 months I think you can go and then apply for certification, and then you can see something. I'm not saying first time you can be able to make it, but I think for the second time I'm sure my 90% of success rate is a second time for sure. So it doesn't go third time actually. Yeah, there's one exam which go on third time, so that's a different story
I
altogether.
have a marketing cloud cert prepared for next week. I'm not sure how it will go. So recently started learning marketing cloud. Not sure how it will go, but I'm really excited about it.
Marketing cloud is good. I
Yeah.
like product.
Yeah, it is amazing. I think when you dive deeper into it, you understand the nitty-gritties and aspects of how to use what different things can come up and all that. So Phaneendra, somebody who has just started the career or beginning the career, there's Salesforce is kind of overwhelming at times. Lot of stuff coming in, like every 3 months there's something new popping up, new clouds. Firstly, how should an experienced guy? I think you already answered that. You should just keep on reading, and sideline the things you think they are not important at the moment and work towards that. But for somebody who is just a fresher or just started with having like taking some Salesforce trainings and internships, how should he progress? Like how should he identify what can he learn, what can he not learn, or should focus on basics only for now? What are your
Uh,
thoughts here?
I would personally recommend for all the fresh graduates, especially in Salesforce. So the number one thing what they would like to do is always follow some rules, especially when I do mentorship. Number one is something that they need to understand the basic concepts of cloud computing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has to understand the basic concept of cloud computing, like what is PaaS, what is IaaS, what is SaaS, and all. From there, you understand what is that Salesforce comes under which kind of a platform, whether it's a SaaS platform or a PaaS platform or IaaS platform, what kind of services that Salesforce provides. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a basic, not more deep. Because you look at cloud computing, it is one of your subject for your specialization across your engineering. So you
Yes.
don't see something surprising now when you see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to know that, so I would recommend everyone to learn the basics, because I see a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of things. The beginner learn the basics, Salesforce basics. What is
Mm-hmm.
field? What is object? What is relationships? What are all the fields and all the stuff? And after that, upgrade yourself to learn at least Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. I'm not go with everything. Sales Service is a basic fundamental clouds for across all the products. Learn what is Sales Cloud, what is the process. Learn what is Service Cloud, what is the process, and then relate your whatever you learn, account, contact, lead, opportunity, that will relate to your sales cases, solution, that relate to your service cloud, and then put together, sit in some time, and then you can observe in your day-to-day lifetime scenarios. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
purchase Airtel sim, and then imagine that you're going to build a similar project like Airtel. So you purchase a sim, and you apply, you went to the Airtel website, and then you enter your details, and then you pick the product, and then you check out the product. And also imagine that you're a lead and you're a prospect, you done a registration, and then that comes to your lead, and then become your customer contact. And then you added the products, you added the bundles like the product price books, and then you create an opportunity for the company, and then you make a deal, and then you got a contract of 1 year subscription, right? Quotations. So if a person can be capitalized and understand the simple scenario, and that can gives a complete, if you tell the same story to any interviewer, he'll give you the job.
Yeah, for sure. Because people know what is like, okay, opportunity, we can write a trigger, but nobody knows the entire flow, right? That is really crucial, right? So I have
Yeah,
seen people creating custom object for contacts, and which could have been fit into the contacts or accounts. So you should know at least the basic and how to use the system. That is for sure.
that is one number thing. Like number one thing, if I request any fresher who don't have a typical experience, the example that what I've told, like Airtel registration. So I think they reach out to the mentorship. Like there are a lot of mentors who are really helpful for explaining these kind of things.
Yeah.
So reach out to people, and then reach out people for seeking some help, and then relevant the learning to some of the use case, which brings a lot of potential for your interview to cross the lines. Some companies ask you LWC, Lightning Web Component development, Apex development, and all. Of course, yes. So it's all comes with your your passion and interest at how you're learning. Like if you're a Java developer, it's easy for you. But you're a
Mm-hmm.
mechanical guy, which you don't have any programmatic skill, but still you have, if you have a grit and passion to learn something on this programming, I think yes, you could be able to do that as well.
Yeah. It is not
So
that tough. It is just about the consistency and discipline, right?
exactly. If you are more disciplined, forget about your skill set, your grades, your percentages, or everything. It doesn't matter for a corporate policy. When you're committed and you're disciplined, that will take you to the higher roles, the bigger
Yeah.
roles. That's where all the big people that what I've seen, they have commitment, they have a discipline. That's where they success their lives, right? So
No, I think a lot of people ask me in my team also. A lot of people come and say, "How are you always motivated?" and things like that. I say it is not about motivation. It is about discipline, right? If you have to do something at say in say August, you have to do it, right? If you are disciplined, then it will take you forward, because motivation is like 2 days we are motivated, 2 days we are not motivated, right? So I eventually learned this in my entrepreneurship journey, that it is more about discipline than motivation.
Yep,
So
that's true.
yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people, especially freshers, I don't know. I personally prefer working from office with freshers specifically, but everybody, wants to work from home because they just want to. I don't know what they want to do, but in my personal experience, working from office has always given more fruitful results, at least for the junior level guys, right? For fresher who can just, directly interact with people, understand and clarify the doubts instead of just pinging on Teams or maybe a Google Meet or Slack and waiting for the response. So what are your thoughts? Like, what do you recommend? Work from home, work from office,
I think, work from office is number one thing. There's no doubt at all, So there's no doubt at all, especially the freshers. I think request them to bring all of them to the office, and then for a year or two, and then if you are surrounding near to that, it's easy for you to communicate, and then you can help them 100% that what they are doing it and all the stuff. That's one of the best actually. I would at least, I mean, experience. I think let them work anywhere. I don't care.
Hmm.
But the freshers, I think I would request them to come to the office, and then as a group, when you are in a different virtual, still you can do it, you can make it. But if you are close together, the bond and the relation creates a different story altogether.
Yeah, yeah,
So you can go for, it's a different story altogether. But
different story.
I still prefer that, people, especially on the freshers, would really love come to the office, and then you can work together, and then can make some progress, and then you can make it build some strong relation in the bonding.
Yeah, no, no. We that is the reason, when we started, it is always work from office for us, and it has been great. Right, the results have been great. We interact a lot. We go out for outings, and otherwise it is just sitting on a Zoom call, right, and ping everybody anytime. You can just walk in, go for tea. Right? So that is also really exciting, and it is kind of more of team bonding also.
That's true. That's true.
Brainstorming is also amazing in office, by the way. So we sit and brainstorm. Right, so that is also something amazing. Perfect. Thanks, Renanda. I think that is pretty much it from my
Oh, thank
side. Thanks for joining
No,
and
no, no,
taking out
thanks for
time in
you.
your busy schedule.
No, no, no. I think a lot of reschedules happen with my side with different story altogether. But I think finally we make it. We did it. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk on your podcast. I think, yeah, if any in future, I think I would really love to talk more. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.